Toyota is getting desperate. With declining sales this month and declining sales in the last quarter, we've seen declining sales in the last 3 consecutive quarters, means that Toyota is in fact getting desperate.
Is now facing criticism that it's not moving fast enough to reduce carbon emissions.
Reporting on the fact that Toyota sales have fallen now for, I believe, 7 straight months.
With declining sales, quality control issues with bad transmissions.
Here in the US, Toyota sales are declining significantly.
Hundreds of thousands of recalls to rectify blown engines, crash test results that weren't quite perfect, and we've seen inventory rise in recent months due to poor sales of a lot of their trucks, their full-size trucks, Tacomas, as well as the Tundras. We haven't seen inventory like this piling up on the lots for quite some time, and generally Toyota has played the game of deliver on time schedules, where you put your deposit, you wait 4 months, and you get your vehicle. But as we can see, the inventory is climbing. We're seeing lots of extra Tundras. A lot of the inventory is rising, and we haven't seen this. Now, is it the reputation? Is it the tens of thousands of engine recalls and failures, allegedly with the twin-turbo V6 tucked under the hood of some of the V6 Tundras? One of the latest recalls to impact Toyota, which is increasing the desperation by the brand, is trying to salvage a little damage control and reputation, is their new Tacoma, and the 8-speed automatic transmission is locking up, spitting out check engine lights, and they're having to rebuild and send out brand new transmissions for many customers who are emitting some of these fault codes. And in the US, the sales have declined in September, down about 20.3%, or about a 9.9% daily savings conversion rate. We're also seeing about 162,000 units sold, clearly a significant drop from the month before. And in my opinion, Toyota's been playing a little bit of a game where they say less is more. That's why the delivery on demand effect seemed to be working. They kept just enough inventory on the lot to make it interesting and create that illusion of shortage, and it create that hustle and the bustle and where people wanted to buy that new vehicle. But these new Tundras have had some issues with that 3.4 liter V6 under the hood. There's been a whole pile of recalls to get those rectified, and that's also creating panic for Toyota and a lot of its subsidiaries. There's a couple of things that don't really help either. The increasing price of some of these Toyota Tundras mean that a lot of people who would be loyal customers are now looking elsewhere because of the sheer price increases that Toyota's been applying to a lot of their vehicles. Even a plain Jane Tundra like this with highway tires on it like this is going for a significant amount of money, and we thought the big three were charging a lot. Toyota's on the same bandwagon. A friend of mine has the outgoing 5.7 liter V8 Tundra, and he was looking at upgrading, but then walked down, checked out the pricing, and realized that's way too rich for his blood. Not only that, the reputation of the 3.4s is pushing him outside looking at other options, but there are none. And then unfortunately at certain dealer levels, not this one in particular, there's been dealers that have also been applying markups above and beyond. I was looking at a Toyota RAV4 Prime, very similar to this vehicle. As you can tell, this one has the little blue logo on the front, so clearly it's a hybrid, but the RAV4 Prime is the one that's the plug-in hybrid, gives you the extra range without gas engine. Now, of course, the sad part is, I went in there, they said they only had one, and it came in for a customer. The story was, they came in for a customer, but they'd show it to me, and the customer didn't actually claim it yet, so it was up to me whether I was interested. But they showed me the build sheet of the vehicle, and while it was highly spec'd, the problem was they actually had added $12,000 worth of extras. So I asked what those extras were. They showed me the breakdown, and it was basically undercoating and paint protection film, which is equivalent to, in my opinion, local vendors will do all of that for probably in about $1,500 range, but they were trying to charge $11,000. I asked them about that, what's going on? They said, well, we got to make our profit somehow. And where these increased price in these vehicles has a lot of people walking and staying away from the dealerships, the point remains is it's quite obvious with a big decline in sales in the last number of quarters for Toyota and many other manufacturers, means that they're looking for more creative ways to try to sell their cars, and Toyota is no different. Part of the issue is too many frequent changes in recent years for Toyota has created a few of these quality control challenges. Even these vehicles here, long-standing, the V6 engine, you'd find in the Toyota 4Runner here, is now being replaced. This year, they're finally changing that out for a 2.4 liter turbo 4-cylinder engine, and it's going to be it's a great looking restyle and redo on the brand, but unfortunately, what's that going to do for reliability when now all of a sudden we're acting direct injection, turbocharging, and 4-cylinder engine to the mix for a full-size SUV for Toyota? And a few people I'd spoken to said they tried to walk into the dealer and get the outgoing V6 version of the Toyota 4Runner and found themselves getting challenged with the conversation of adding price to the sticker. Yes, a lot of dealers are still adding markups, market adjustment fees on the old outgoing 4Runner just because of its tried and true reputation for reliability, and a lot of customers are getting turned off. And while there's been a lot of panic on the Toyota side with some of the quality challenges with the 8-speed automatic transmission, with some of the engine issues, drivability problems, the fact remains is they've given up on pure EV. The infrastructure's not there, and they've said, but look, we have to up our ante on the electric vehicle. What is that? Hybrids. That's right, they're upping their game in hybrids, and their sales have seen a drastic increase, 38% on a daily sales rate and about a 22% sales rate increase over in September. Meaning that a lot of their vehicles are transitioning to hybrid vehicles. While Toyota's not getting on board with selling pure EVs because the infrastructure's not there yet, they do believe that hybrid has one of the strongest positions in the current market as we transition to pure EVs. And now the brand new Toyota Camry, as we're looking right here, has the beautiful logos. This is an XSE all-wheel drive or XSE hybrid right here, as you see. It's a beautiful vehicle, has the nice flares, and I definitely like the rear finishing, the wheels on this vehicle. Lots of great touches and elements. But there you have it. It is an absolute gorgeous car, and they're putting a lot more of their stock and efforts into hybridization instead of going pure electric vehicle. Toyota has seen such gains in the hybrid space that they've actually increased 48.4% of their market share within their sales portfolio are actually all hybrid vehicles. That's right, almost half of their vehicles that they sell today have some form of electrification, meaning that Toyota has full plans to forge ahead with hybrid vehicles and all but fully eliminate all of their internal combustion solo vehicles in the very near future. That's why their classic tried and true V6s are getting replaced with the turbo 2.4s, and their infamously reliable 5.7 from the outgoing Tundra is being replaced with the 3.4 liter V6, but all of these will be likely coupled up to some form of a hybrid drivetrain, whether it's on time permanently or if it's a plug-in hybrid application. A lot of their vehicles, or all of their vehicles, will likely be transitioning to hybrid in very short future, and you won't be able to get yourself a pure internal combustion vehicle in the very, very near future. As you walk down the lot, there's going to be lots of choices. Sales are on the slump for Toyota, as they are for a lot of manufacturers today, and a lot of that has to do with the cost of living crisis, and people literally can't afford the increased prices of a lot of these vehicles. But to fund the pricing of an internal combustion vehicle comes at a cost of the research and development for electrification, and that's why these vehicles are going up. So even with the changing out of the drivetrains that garnered a lot of the reputation for reliability, even with some of the quality control challenges and failures, even with the transition into electrification or EV or even hybrid market, Toyota loyalists truly believe that there's a Toyota in their future, because Toyota does take care and pride in their customers. And even with some classic enthusiast cars like the GR86, the Supra, even the Lexus IS 500, it's clear that there's still some lovers of the internal combustion vehicle. Unfortunately, the writing is on the wall, and Toyota, the way it stands, looks like they're forging ahead. Insiders allege that they're going still hydrogen, look at hybrid drivetrains like this, and eventually possibly EVs once the infrastructure and the battery technology is in place. So till that time, Toyota looks to be continually their transformation, removing the internal combustion engines from their arsenal, and as time goes on every single year until you hit some of those world targets for emissions, you're likely about to see Toyota slowly dissipate and eliminate almost every single standard internal combustion engine vehicle.